Within the past hour, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony has been released from the Collin County Jail after posting bond. A judge reduced his bond this morning from $1 million to $250,000. He's facing a murder charge after police say he stabbed another teenager, Austin Metcalf, while at a track meet at a Frisco high school. Stephen Dial is in McKinney with more. Stephen.
Karmelo Anthony left the Collin County Jail in a suit, but had nothing to say to the reporters before he got into that vehicle. The district court judge says that she looked at all the factors in this case, him not having a criminal history, and that led to her making her decision to reduce his bond. 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony was silent after bonding out of the Collin County Jail and being placed on house arrest.
How is this self-defense?
2 days after the family of Austin Metcalf buried their son, they were at the Collin County Courthouse for a bond reduction hearing Monday. Karmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing Metcalf at a Frisco track meet earlier this month. The case has quickly become national news, drawing a lot of attention, resulting in threats and increased security at the courthouse.
Threats and, talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family.
Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom.
Let me pause it real quick because I heard that everybody's saying he bought a new home. My initial thoughts when he walked out of that courthouse on bond was that they might try to kill him. That was exactly what I was just thinking as I'm looking at this boy. And I think that's why the dude's like, come on, let's get in this car. Because as soon as I'm seeing him leave, I'm like, bro, they might try to kill this boy. Because they already buried the Metcalf. The family's at the court hearing, so they at the courthouse. They might try to kill him. Y'all in Texas, too. And now the lawyer defense is telling they going to see threats and shit. So now everybody's saying, oh, he bought money with the funds to buy a new house. You think he can stay where he's at? He might not even be safe for real. I'm not sure if that's true, if he bought a new home with the funds that they got from like the GoFundMe and shit. But this is kind of justified though, if he did. I'm be honest, bro. This ain't no Black Lives Matter shit where the shirty ass is getting the money and buying hella money and doing other shit with it. No. His life is in danger at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, they making it a race thing. And now people feel passion. They might try to take him out. You know, Texas got hella guns. Why you think they say they need hella officers around? So, I'm not trying to justify if he did take that money from the funds to spend it, but I think if he did, that makes sense. All right? Just saying for the sensitive ears out there.
But we did capture the Anthony family arriving. His father, Andrew, testified in the hearing. District Court Judge Angela Tucker said that she's never gotten this volume of calls and had to have this level of security in the courtroom in her 13 years on the bench.
Whoa.
Court documents say Anthony stabbed Metcalf during a fight. When an officer arrived, court documents say Anthony told the officer, "I was protecting myself." Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis spoke after the hearing.
The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next, and it's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads.
Anthony's father testified he's taking a leave from work because of the incident, and his wife is a stay-at-home mother with 3 other children. During the hearing, the prosecution brought up the fact that more than $400,000 have been raised for the Anthony family.
Yes, sir.
Saying a reduction is not needed because they have the funds. A big question in this case will be, why did Anthony bring a weapon to a high school stadium? It's a question that was asked of his attorney.
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into.
Right. Okay.
Now, in the opening statement to the media from that interview that you just heard, he led with talking about self-defense. Again, the court documents mention self-defense. We'll have to wait and see how that defense will be made in court when things pan out. Now, according to the judge, the terms of the bond are house arrest and ankle monitor. She told him to stay off social media, and he has to personally call her bailiff every Friday morning, not his parents, but him. There's a list of other things that is set, and if he violates that, he'll return to the Collin County Jail.
Easy peasy. Look at that. Won't he do it? Look. This is the judge that did it. District attorney there too. Hey, he's going along with what the judge said. This is the judge said. He said, based on your history, you're not a criminal. And based on what you told me, come on, bro. Look, I'm not saying he's going to get away scot-free, but what I'm saying is that he's not going to get in as much trouble as we thought he was going to get into. If he already had the money to post bond, but they wanted to wait to a bail hearing, a bond hearing. Look, the judge took it from $1 million to $250,000, bro. Why would the judge do that? Why would the judge do that? The one that's probably going to be residing over his case. If she didn't believe that he has a defense in this case and that he's not a flight risk, well, they already put an ankle monitor on him, so it don't even matter if he's a flight risk because they, you know what I'm saying? But he's probably not either way. You know what I'm saying? 17 years old. He ain't got that much money. But then he has the money from the thing. So I understand that part. So people want him to pay the full amount without the reduction. But the reduction just tells you that the court sees that there's no need to have it that high. Which means he's not as high of a risk as they anticipated. Correct? Tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I might be wrong in this. I see everybody got their panties in a bunch about this situation. They want to pick sides. See, based on my last video I made with Charleston White and Anton Daniels. But basically in that video, I was just trying to explain how black people turn their backs on black people. But the white people got to jump out the woodworks and comment on my videos. That's cool. Take it how you is. Obviously, the judge has lowered the bond herself. They had the money to pay for the $1 million bond, but the judge has lowered the bond. What does that tell you, people that want to comment in the comment section? Tell me. Why would the judge lower the bond? District attorney is there too. Now, question is, they're trying to ask the lawyer, why did he even bring a knife to school? The lawyer can't answer that because that's going to be part of the defense. Why would we give you evidence of the defense already? It's not time yet. They didn't even pick the jury out yet. So once they pick the jury out, you know, you don't want to dilute the jury like, oh, okay, give them a false perception. So let's just keep all that, wait until it's court time. And then we'll spill the beans on why he thought he should have a knife. You see, me personally, the reason why he thought he should have a knife is personal to him. Personal to his own safety. Now, I know everyone in the comments always figuring out, well, it was premeditated. Just because you bring a knife somewhere doesn't mean you premeditated kill someone. You can carry a knife anywhere. Should you have a knife on school grounds? That's to the person that needs it for his security, right? You might have been breaking policy of such thing, but like I said, that's part for the defense to take when it's time for court. That's what you need to explain when it's court, because what's going to happen is Metcalf's lawyer is going to bring up why did he need the knife. And then if he can justify why he needed it, it's going to make his case sound so much more sweet. I justified this knife because I either had this happen to me or I feared for my life because kids at my school and or the person that attacked me possibly showed on social media that he is an armed individual and I fear for my life, but I didn't possess a firearm. That could be a result. What happens if that's the result of what he says? Because the judge I want to hear what he said in court. I'm be honest. I don't know if it's public or not, but I really want to hear his opening statement on why of course he said it was self-defense, but I want to hear exactly what he said, because whatever he said made the judge lower his bail 3 times, 3/4. It was at $1 million. She lowered it to $250. That says that he said something that resonated with her that she thought made sense in the court and released him. Yes, he has an ankle monitor. That's cool. As long as he has his freedom, to be with his family before they actually try to sentence him on possible time that he could get. But I'm not going to jump the gun here and say that, oh, he's guilty. What happened to the court system? You're innocent until proven guilty. And here they are already trying to serve him on a platter. They're trying to say that he's already guilty before he even seen the judge. Nobody knows nothing but the people that was there, other than the evidence are given and the witness statements are given to the police, right? But everybody's always jumping the gun saying he's already guilty. You're innocent till proven guilty. So I hate that the black people hop on the bandwagon, the crush the black community bandwagon to please the white man. Now, you think that's not true? Read the comments of what they're saying. Have y'all heard of the conservative twins? I know all the white people heard of the conservative twins. They literally are demonizing this boy. Don't know no facts. They're demonized. Talking about he's a criminal outside. Anything outside of this has nothing to do with what happened that day. All right? You have to put the evidence based on that day at that scenario. Nothing outside of there matters other than the weather, why he was there, why he had the knife, which can be justified depending on what he says. You get what I'm saying? But now I think it's better because he gets to go home and he can have private conversations with his lawyer and his family and they could talk it out. Versus you got to stay in his jail cell and talk to your lawyer over there. Right? So I just want a fair trial. That's all I'm asking for, bro. If he gets time, he gets time. But I just want to make sure that he gets a fair trial sitting in front of his peers and they can judge and jury this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So what y'all think is I'm just picking sides. No, I'm picking the right thing to do. Because everybody's going to get on him and why he brought a knife to school, but no one's going to mention why Metcalf came to him to touch him. Why did the aggressor close the gap? Then assault. Not saying that he should have stabbed him, because it's not about should he. It's about is it justified that he did. See, that's what people understand about the law. They're thinking, oh, he could have, he should have. There's not a should or could. There is a he did. Was it justified in the court eyes that he could do that? Right? So that's what I want to say on this conversation. If y'all want to argue with me in the comment section, I'm willing to do that because Karmelo Anthony, bro, in my eyes, is innocent. Or at least he should get a lesser sentence because he was pushed to the edge. If he was not approached, he wouldn't have not attacked. Right? Because if you take the situation and you switch it and Metcalf tell him, he came to him and said, man, this is our section, you got to go. And he said, I ain't going. Metcalf could have just been the adult that y'all wanted Anthony to be and went to go get to his superior and told his superior, hey, man, we got this dude from a different school. He here and he won't move. Can you get him? Now, if Karmelo Anthony now has stabbed the teacher, now that's a whole different game now we talking because he already got his superior. But due to the fact that it was another kid, 17 years old as well, an opposite team grabbing them up, this is a whole different situation. I don't know you. Who are you? You're not a superior. You're no one, actually, technically. Why are you touching me? Who are you to touch me? Do you have the right to touch me? Because what people are saying is, oh, he stabbed him because he touched him. Let's stop being so vague. Let's tell him what actually happened. He physically assaulted you. By force, he used force to remove you from your current position. Let's just tell it how it is because people are trying to be around the bush. Or, oh, you can't use deadly force. Well, we're going to have to let the court system say that. And based on them giving him a bond reduction and releasing him on bond, knowing that they had the money already, that tells you enough already. It tells you at least this is going to go better than y'all are portraying. So maybe jail time's on the arm, but yeah, we're not getting first degree. I know that for sure. It don't seem like it is. He said self-defense from the get-go. He immediately asked the police, is he okay? So he's already thinking about the guy. And the thing is, I'm watching the conservative twins and they're saying that he repeatedly stabbed the kid. He stabbed him once. One stab, he got out of the jam. He ran out of the... Now all the problems are out the way. He stabbed a guy and ran. Still stayed within the thing. He didn't go off and jump in the car and dip and go to school, lead to school. No, he stayed between there. He got caught. He told the cop he did it. He took, responsibility for what he did. I did stab him. It was self-defense. I don't have the knife. I was scared. I ran away. But I stayed within here. He's not a flight risk, bro. I'm be honest. I just want him to have a fair trial. That's all. I just want him to have a fair trial. That's all. People are here. They're in their pennies expecting. See, I'm not a black man that's going to turn my back on other black men. Definitely when they're in need. Definitely when I see that the white man was actually the aggressor. I'm not going to say that the black kid should have just got roughed up by this white kid and ran off and told the police. Why would he go off and call the police? Why would this kid after being roughed up, go and call his dad Charleston White, since black men have a problem with calling their dad Charleston White. You have a problem with relating this. This story has nothing to do with Riddle House. Riddle House is a whole different situation. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with race. Riddle House has nothing to do with race. Joven, that has nothing to do with this kid. Why are you comparing other white people that got in trouble to this kid? That's the problem with people in the social media. I don't understand. There has nothing to do with this child. This child is a whole isolated incident. And nobody did this. Nobody has got stabbed at a school and is on trial like him right now at this situation, this current situation, exactly how it is. So to compare him to Riddle House or Trayvon Martin's case, Zimmerman, that's just ignorant because it doesn't make sense. Why would you compare those two? Those are two different cases. You know what I'm saying? Then you get people in the comment section arguing the contrary. Oh, Riddle House was innocent. Bro, that has nothing to do with this current situation. You got to put the evidence in front of the people. What was the circumstance? How was the weather? Is that the reason why you're there? Yes. What made him walk up to you and grab him? See, now the brother is going to have to hit the stand. And if he's found, if he lies even the slightest, they're going to remove his whole statement. He can't lie. He's going to be found in perjury if he lies. I hope he don't. I hope the brother that's seen it doesn't lie, because he's going to ruin his life doing that. And now the father's going to lose a kid, and another one goes to jail for lying. So I hope they don't lie, try to make up a lie. And I hope they had somewhat type of cameras or something to at least acknowledge something. There's phones everywhere. There had to be a camera somewhere. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna see when the information come out, and it's your boy Angelo Savage, so you know I'm gonna be on it top notch. I'm gonna be on it first. I think this kid is innocent, at least not as guilty as we portray him to be. He's not no villain. Look at him. He's an innocent kid. He ain't got no dreads. He got a knife. Cool. Kids have knives. Kids have knives. Just like kids run away from home. Kids do drugs. Kids sell drugs. Kids do dumb shit. Kids have knives. Believe it. So to say it's premeditated is retarded, because premeditated, which means I got this knife today. I walked to school knowing that I will stab this guy. And I sat here on purpose. There was no rain for me to have a reason to sit here. Think about it. Premeditated, which means I thought about doing it before I did it. I prepped it. You get what I'm saying? So for the people in the chat that think that this was premeditated, if this situation was premeditated, that would have to think that Karmelo Anthony would have to say, oh, I'm going to bring this knife to school today, and I'm going to stab somebody today. That's premeditated. I'm going to go under this guy's tent and wait for someone to touch me so I can stab them. That's premeditated. That's not the case. If it wasn't raining, there wouldn't be no reason to be under the tent. Think about it, right? If it wasn't raining, wouldn't have no reason to be under the tent. The knife at school functions, bro, I guarantee he's going to justify that. He's going to all he needs to do is justify why he had the knife at a school function. It don't matter if it's against their policy or their rules. He can justify why he had that with him. And that's it. So be it. Or why did he have it? Okay, we're going to go to court with that. And that's most of you guys' argument, is that he shouldn't have had a knife at school. Bro, I had knives at school, bro. Everybody had a knife at school. These kids now have guns at school. Kids, guns. These are probably seniors. They're 17 years old. They're probably seniors. They have guns at school. Knives ain't nothing. He probably, I'm be honest, in my perception, he probably don't have a gun. So that's probably why he has a knife. Then he keeps a knife. It ain't like the knife was in his pocket. It was in his backpack. So, say as you will. We're going to figure out the situation. You can argue with me in the chat if you like. I like a good debate. So, it's your boy Angelo So Savage. Please tell me what y'all think in the comment section. I'm happy that this boy is home. Let's keep raising money for him so he can have a fair defense. That's all I'm saying. I just want him to have a fair defense, and I don't want money to be a problem why he got undermined, why he couldn't have a great defense. I don't want money to be a problem for that. And I want him to also be free as they're going to trial, because anybody else would be. So In this situation, the judge agreed with what he said and lowered his bond enough where his parents can get him out, but put him on an ankle monitor. And yes, there's some stipulations, but he has his freedom as of now, but he has to be confined to his household. I'm with that. It's your boy Angel So Savage. Tell me if you disagree in the comment section. Don't forget to like for the algorithm. And it's your boy. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.